Hi everyone, I'm hopeful that all you will be fine. Okay, so in the last session, we have learned how we can get the upcoming events report, okay, using the different filter query parameters. So in today's session, we are keep moving with the Zoom Reports API, Zoom Meeting Reports API. So in today's session, we will learn about the users active inactive report, okay. So for that, we first need to create a const endpoint variable. We call it users user status. Okay, so we just create and assign the value report and users. Okay, and we need to export that. So we say user status need to format, and inside the helper function, we first need to import that endpoint variable. So we say user status, and at the bottom, we are just going to build the helper function for that endpoint. So we say here const user status report, and then we can say users, it is users, okay? So users status report. So users status report means all account users, okay? So we pass the filter and we are going to define the definition of that helper. So we just need to define the body. And inside the filter, we can pass a few parameters, and which are those we can keep define there those. So we say from and to. So from and to as usual are the same. So we can pass date and date uh, in the form of the format YYMMDT, and that we can only pass the 1 month range. So we can pass the 1 month range. The date must be from and to range will be max to the 1 month. Okay, and we can also pass the type. Okay, so inside the type we only pass two values. Okay, so either we pass active users and either we can filter by inactive users. Okay, so active users will be considered by the Zoom are those who have at least hosted one meeting in the given time range, okay, which we have set it inside the from and to. So that user is considered as an active user. At least he or she have hosted one meeting. And if in the given time range the user doesn't meet that requirement, then he will be considered as a inactive user. Okay, and we can also pass group id. Okay, so group id, all the users which are belong to this group, which will be fetched back to the report in the response. Okay, and we can also pass the page size. So page size is usual default value 30, and max we can set 300, okay, per request. And there is a page number. So if the records are greater than 300, okay, so if the records greater than 300, then we will get the page. We need to pass the page number also, and we need to pass next page token. Okay, so these are the parameters. And also one more thing regarding the rate limit. So rate limit label for this API is heavy, which means 10 requests per second. Okay, so 10 requests per second means it is 10 requests for the pro plan. So if you have a higher plan, then you can also review the limit range on their docs. Okay, so if you exceed that limit, then you will get 4 to 9 http status error code. Okay, so let's start. First build the URI. We say users status URI, and we use a string interpolation. We set API base URI, and we pass user status, and we also bind from. Okay, and we can only request this. The month must be in a live within a 6 months only. So from and to month will be live the current date to 6 month past. Okay, so we say here from So if inside the filter we have a from, then we are going to pass that. If not, then first we need to create the from local variable inside the default values. So we must be set month as from dot get month, and we -1 so that we can get the last month. And we set here from dot to iso string and dot split t, and we get the index value 0, and then we also bind to, and we set here if from dot to is available, then that's okay. If not, then we say here new date dot to string to iso string and split from t and get the value 0. Okay, and we also need to check. Okay, so we check if filter dot user status, either we can say type. So if the type is present, then we bind users status URI and we concatenate. So we say here type will be filter dot type. Okay, and we also check that if filter dot group id is present, then we need to bind that also. So we have users URI and user string interpolation. We say group id will be filter dot group id. Okay, and at the bottom we also place a recursive do while or iterative logic to fetch all the records. So in this endpoint, we must, maybe we have a records more than 300. So we need to pull all the records if records are greater than 300. So for that reason, we need to implement a logic to keep requesting, and we must be have a rate limit label in our mind, and we keep requesting until we fetch all the records from the API. So we say promise, and we say async, and we resolve, reject. Okay, and here we need to create a let users status array. Okay, and user status report, we can say that. I think that is already created a helper function, so we only say this user status array. We use to and while. Okay, and inside the while we can set filter dot next page token. But before that, I have created a helper function for the next page requests inside the utils. Okay, so if you are new here, then you can just watch my previous session, so you can got that how I built it and applied the logic. Okay, so I'm going to use that. So here I'm saying that const data and the weight and next page request. So we say here the user's status URI. Okay, and filter dot next page token. So for now we do not have a next page token on our first request, but on second request, if there is a next page token, then we assign that. Okay, so if we say data dot users, okay, if inside that data dot users dot length, okay, greater than 0, then I think if we remove just this and directly we append concate that, so we say users status will be users status dot concate, and we assign data dot users. Okay, and one more thing, we must be have a page number. So we let's say page number will be 0, and we are going to sending that page number. Okay, I think we can append that here. So we just, maybe it will be more better that we can pass that inside this. So we just need to say here next page token and page number. So basically Zoom have a deprecated that page number on many their endpoints, but in this endpoint still there is a page number. So we see here, if page number is available, or either we say greater than 1, we can say greater than 1, then we are just setting that here. So we say URL and we just need to copy, paste it here, and we say page number and we pass the page number. Okay, and navigate back here and we just pass plus plus page number. Okay, and I think at the bottom we also check if data or next page token is available. Then we assign that to the filter next page token, and we assign data or next page token. And in the else part we say else, and filter dot next page token will be null or empty string, and we call resolve here. So we move out the process from this process. So we say users status. I think we have a few more fields inside the responses, like these total records and across the pages. So it is across the pages, number of meeting minutes, so it is across the pages, so we can also pass those. So we need to customize that from here. So we see users will be user status, and we need to copy the remaining variables. So it is total records, paste, and we also need to total minutes, total meetings, and total participants. So we say total minutes, total meetings, total participants, and from the data we just need to get data dot total records, total records, and data dot total meetings, data dot total meeting minutes, and data dot total meetings, okay, and data dot total participants. Okay, and I think we place a check here if data dot users are inside that. Okay, then we need to resolve. If not, then we are going to reject. So we say reject true, need to format. Okay, and I think we have all the things right. So last thing is filtered on next page token. Okay, so we keep iterating to this loop until we successfully got all the records for orchestrated filter. So inside the utils, I have placed a set timeout for 100 milliseconds. So inside 1000, we have 1000. So it will be 10 requests per second. So for the pro account. And I think we need to bind them. And we say response, return response, and dot h, we say error, need to return the error, format the code, and just remove this white space. And inside the API, we are going to create an endpoint. We say dot get slash API slash zoom slash reports slash users. Okay, so we say sync to catch the response, and we need to let first, before that we must be import. Okay, so we say users status. We do not have exported, so that's why it is not. We say users status report, save, and here we say users status report. At the bottom we call users status, and we await users status report, and we pass request start query. Okay, and return back response.json, and we say users status, and just need to format the code, place a breakpoint here, and need to start the API. npm start. Okay, and need to copy this, navigate to the browser. Let's request localhost, but before that we need to hide this. So we say localhost port 4000, paste and hit enter. Okay, we have a response. So we have only one user in the given default range. Okay, so we need to set the date and time. Okay, also. So, and also we need to reduce the page size. So we set the page size. We say here page size will be 1, and the from will be 20, 08, 01, and 2 will be 2020 and 09 and 01. Enter. So we have a response. Still we have one user, but I think we can see what is the URI we are building. So we are building that from one. So it is building. Why it is not getting from the 2? So it is 2 is still setting to 11 month. Oh, filter data, sorry. To see, npm start once again. Need to hit enter. Okay, let's see. We have user 0. URI, we see the URI is building successfully here. It is fine, and we do not have a page size. What? So we must be response back this, and we need to set the page size. I think it page size is 1. Page size is 1. So we can set this to 6 and 7. I do not have much data on my account, so that's why we are facing. So we need to see the data, the URI first. So we do not have append the page, and page size, we say filter dot page size, and if there is no any page size, then we need to set 300. Either it is going to set default. So inside, I think we need to set the page size 1, and we continue with the default date. So we still got the 1 record. So we got 1 record, and we have nothing inside that. Here. Okay, so I do not have too much records on my account, this session account, but I'm hopeful that this endpoint will work fine with all the appended or edit part filter parameters, filter query parameters. Okay, But if you still have facing few bugs or problems regarding this session or regarding this code, then just please keep post those bugs either on a video comment section, either on a where shared contact details, email or WhatsApp. Okay, so we are just leaving now, and come back with the next session. Take care. Bye bye.